So let's talk about work fulfillment. I think people sometimes get stuck when they're looking for a career because they're asking the question, what will fulfill me? And they don't really know. So now that you've been doing this career for a while and we know that it's a good fit for you, how do you find fulfillment in your work?
It's an interesting question because it reminds me not just of career, but of life. When people say, oh, I've fallen out of love with my husband or wife or my partner, that's really a stupid question. So if you'll forgive my saying so, all of us who love what we do, and I am truly passionate about the work, about my clients, that doesn't mean you're going to love it all the time. There are things that you do that are drudgery. There are things that you do that are boring. That's life. They're just things that have to get done. So you have to look at the core skills. I also think when people say, I want to be passionate about my work, that they really don't want to make a decision. They don't want to jump right in. They just want to stall. And life will pass you by if that's the attitude you take. So you have to try different things. And there are going to be pieces of it you love, and pieces of it that you love less, or even hate. But sometimes you have to look at those pieces you hate and say, isn't that just the drudgery of life? Isn't that just what we have to tolerate and move past? It's not that I hate this job. I hate this about working. But we all have to do this.
Right, okay.
Maybe you hate certain paperwork. Maybe you hate paying bills. Maybe you hate making phone calls to strangers. So what? You have to do it anyway.
Yeah, and you probably can get some good out of it.
And you get better at it.
Yes.
And maybe you hate it less.
Right, yep. I remember I had a dance teacher once that told me that when I was complaining about a step, usually the people that complain about a certain dance step, it's because they don't do it very well.
Right.
So I would imagine as you do things better, you hate them less. What about, kind of a good day? So when you kind of drive home at night and you reflect back, that was a good day, sort of what makes it a good day for you?
That's an excellent question because I think we are all different. For me, I love completion. Some people love process. I love completion. So I feel great about a day if I actually completed 2, 3, 4 things rather than moved 10 things along. That just is not as satisfying for me. But I think people differ.
Yeah. So, you've talked several times in our interview about knowing yourself and how important that is. How did you discover yourself? Or, maybe what are some, how do you...
I think I've been blessed with always being self-assured. I was always comfortable not running with the crowd. This is who I am, this is what I like, this is what you like. This is who I am, this is who you are. I realize not everyone's like that.
So but knowing what you like, really.
I think that's actually one of the blessings of being introverted. I think for a lot of people who are extroverted, my son is very extroverted, they're way too concerned with how they're seen, how they're perceived, what other people think of them, what other people think they should do. You have to listen to yourself. That's part of growing up.
Yeah, and you listen to yourself by really kind of noticing what you like and what you don't like.
Right.
And I know that you were just asking my daughter, when does time stop for you?
Right.
I think that's another excellent question. Great. So I think, maybe one last question, if you could give any advice to anyone who's feeling a little bit lost in life and feeling like, I don't really know what I want to do next. What haven't we talked about that?
Never fear change. Really embrace change. If something isn't working, it's unlikely that your life is over. More likely you'll have other options available to you. But the know yourself or piece really comes first. If you don't know who you are, what you like, you have to pay attention to yourself. And frankly, if you don't, no one else will.
And on that note, I'd like to thank you so much for being with us today. It's been such a great time having you here, and I know that our viewers are going to so appreciate the gift that you've given us of your wisdom.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Nahid.
All right.